Hey, everybody. I just wanted to talk to you a few minutes about things that you may have gone through in your past. And, you know, it could have been from, your childhood. I know that I have gone through a lot of things that a lot of people would not realize that I have gone through if you met me today. But the truth of the matter is, I did. And the thing about it is, I have been so redeemed uh, in God and, by the blood of the Lamb that a lot of the stuff that I tell, it's almost as if I'm telling somebody else's story. And it is because I have so forgiven and I have so released that, I don't, I don't hold it as a grudge or whatever. Um, I was, you know, taken at 2 years old um, with my family um, from the state of Oklahoma, and they headed, to Nevada. It was not on good terms with the grandparents on either side, and so we went out to Nevada where my mom and my dad were farm kids, and they started farming and was raising some of the best hay in the area. People were coming and stealing it. Um, my dad ended up getting on at the time a big gold mine, gold, copper ore, um, all the precious metals, working on the big ukes. And then, a few years later, my mom got a job in another town where they would haul all of these precious metals, in rock form and they ran it through the smelting process to separate, out the trash from the precious metals and stuff like that. And anyway, so I was, had the lack of any influence from, any grandparents. And then my dad was a mechanic, and so the everything around our house looked like a mechanic, with motors and parts, and while every other people would look at it, they would deem it as junk. I mean, it was stuff of value, but it made our yards, front and back, to be a salvage yard. And and my mother, she literally just she didn't uh, clean well. I think she tried, but by that time she had 5 children, and she just kind of you know couldn't keep up with it because we were not trained or whatever to help out in any way, shape, or form. And so there was a struggle. So we ended up literally never really getting bathed. I never owned a toothbrush to brush my own teeth. I always remember brushing my teeth with my finger, getting all the junk off because I could feel that it was on there. But that led to severe being teased growing up. And I mean, the older I got, the more severe that it got. And so by the time that I was able to actually start to take care of myself and that kind of stuff, my mother ended up, we never was on welfare, any of those kind of things. But if there was, a reason that the welfare kind of came to get involved, and my mother told them to go F theirself. It was the main welfare lady. Told her to go F herself. And so that lady proceeded to show her who was boss. And within just a very short period of time, we were all taken from my mother. God did show me. I was sitting out in a swing, just kind of rocking back and forth and stuff. And God told me, you will be taken, from your parents, and you won't be able to, return. And so anyway, I thought there had to have been a mistake. I thought, he must have meant somebody else. But just like he said, within just a short period of time, that came to pass. I was taken, put in a foster home. My little brother was put in a children's home. Then my little sister joined him. Then later, I was moved to that children's home, and then later taken out of that children's home, put into another foster home. And that foster home was a single-parent foster mom. And things turned bad. I know that we were going to, Las Vegas on the weekends, and we ended up at this guy's house at the time, that he would fly to Alaska and bring in big hauls of Thai stick. And anyway, long story short, a guy from one of the training centers showed up and started telling me, don't you want to have good, or you could have, new clothes and a new car and money, and wouldn't you like to have these good things? And I was like, yeah, but what would I have to do? And so anyway, he just proceeded to tell me that if I didn't do those things, that he could put me over in this training center till I was 21 years old. And that was a big red flag. And so anyway, I just asked him what would I have to do? And he said that, he was going to give me some time to think about it, but that if I didn't, that's, he could put me over there. And so anyway, he left. About that time, I had a friend come up. He had gotten for his birthday an old car that used to be a taxi out of Vegas. They had put a new motor in it and brand new tires and painted it white. And it looked like it was probably hand painted with a paintbrush. Although the paint seemed to stay on pretty good. But anyway, so he brought me all the way from that state to 5 states away. And where by that time my dad had moved to, because his dad had died and he had moved back or whatever. So anyway, I'm going to end it right here. If you want to hear more of my story, because trust me, there is a lot more still yet to come. Then stay tuned, and we'll make this part 1, and I'll do a part 2 and a part 3, part 4, whatever I have to do to get through it. I know my mother ended up poisoning me. There was just a lot of things, that happened that, I forgive her for. She has gone on to be with the Lord now. She did receive Jesus as her Savior, and so did my dad, and I am so thankful and grateful for that, because I will be together with them in heaven again. So anyway, if you haven't already known, I am a Christian published author. I did a book that just got released July the 6th, 2022. I Still Love You by Sandra K. Ward. You can get it on Amazon or wherever books are sold. And that is a very powerful book. And I highly recommend that you get it for yourself and for anybody else that you know of that may fight condemnation, guilt, shame, or just a gap between you and God, and you want that removed. So anyway, God richly bless you guys, and I'll be doing a part 2, so stick around. I love you guys.